Last week at a Parkway board meeting, it was decided that as of next year, middle school will include grades 7, 8, and 9. Grade 6 will move back down to the elementary school. Please pause the video and write your response to this decision in the Do Now section of your notebook. Did I get your attention? Hopefully so. In writing, it is important to hook the audience and reel them in from the start of your story. This is called a lead. The lead is the introduction to your story. It gives the reader a preview of what your story will be about. Why is it important to use a powerful lead? Well, it's the first thing that your reader reads, and it hooks them in from the beginning and it makes them excited to continue reading. Just like the Do Now in this lesson, it got your attention and you were probably curious to learn more about the decision. Now, I'm sorry, but I completely made that up just to show you how important effective leads are. What I'd like for you to do now is I want you to compare these two leads. Go ahead and read both of them, and then in the notes section of your notebook, please title the sheet Leads and write down which lead is better and why. What I'd now like for you to do is I'd like you to go to your independent reading book. Look at how the author leads into each chapter. I'd like you to jot some ideas or things that you notice. Hopefully you notice that the author may have done one of these 4 types of leads. There may have been action, there may have been a description of a place, there may have been dialogue between 2 characters, and there may have been a character thinking. These are the 4 types of narrative leads that we will talk about today, and I'd like for you to try one of these 4 types in your narrative piece. The first one is an action lead. This is when you hook the reader into your story by starting with an exciting event or action. Here's an example of a boring lead. I was excited for the first day of school. But a better lead would be, I threw on my favorite sweater and raced down the stairs, barely gulping down a glass of orange juice. It was the first day of 6th grade, and I couldn't wait to start my new life as a middle school student. Another lead is the dialogue lead. This is when you have characters speaking to each other. It puts the reader right into the scene. An example of a boring dialogue lead would be, I will not tell you my name. A better lead would have the characters talking. My name is not Eddie. It's E-D, E.D. What kind of name is that? The boy slouching against the porch railing had scarlet spiked hair, a silver ring through a dark eyebrow. My kind, E.D. Applewhite said. She had no intention of telling this creep her name. Makes me want to keep reading. Another type of lead would be the description lead. This is when you draw the reader in by painting a picture with your words. A boring description lead would be, football season is the best time of year. A better lead would be, the smell of freshly cut grass and burning leaves mingled in the crisp air to announce the beginning of the season. The bright lights blazed onto the field as an echo from the announcer blared in the background. Football season had arrived. And finally, your last lead is a reaction lead. This is where you can show the thoughts or inner conflict to the reader. I was excited for the first day of school. Pretty boring. But here is a better thought lead. Nobody asked me if I wanted to leave our home in Connecticut. Nobody ever asked 11-year-olds what they thought, especially girls. If they did, I would have told them being Papa, since it was all his idea, that going off hundreds of miles to the middle of nowhere was plain foolishness and bound to end in disaster. What you will now do is you are going to visit 4 different stations that have all of these different leads. You're going to see lots of narrative examples. I'd like for you to read through each one of these leads, and then I'd like you to figure out which one you think will work the best for your personal narrative. When you are done, please come see me.